Hi guys, this is Andrew at FloryPB. This is going to be a little bonus content here. This is my buddy's marker. I'm just going to go through it real quick and just give it a little bit of lube and a little bit of love. Make sure everything's all good. Yeah, it looks super clean. I don't really know. I've never actually worked on one of these till today. That's a lie. Until I started screwing around making a board for them. But they are basically Timmy's. He has no eye detent. Look at that. Wow. Alright. No ball detent there. So we'll replace the ball. Oh, okay. That is a Phillips screw. This is a hex. It's all standard thread, which is good. Well, easy. Good is relative. One. Ooh. Alright, so we need a couple detents. Not a problem. So they use 5mm eyes, probably. Like a Timmy, kind of. Sound more like a Timmy, not a Timmy eye, but weird, kind of its own eye there. It's about a 5mm eye, it looks like, with an O-ring. Okay. Well, not bad, not great, I guess. We'll do a little trick stuff to the CP reg. Yeah, I haven't done too many marker videos, so I figured instead of just lubing this, let me talk about it and lube it, and maybe this goes on fast forward. So my board's in there already. I did my board installation videos and stuff. Keep that stuff out of there. Let's see, is that O-ring okay? Yeah, it looks okay. Guess it feels okay. Let's see if that leaks later. And let's see. How do you come out? Oh my god. Let me get something soft. So just threw the whole board out. Put that back in real quick. Okay. So I don't know if that's going to try to twist everything if I do that. So I'm going to do it gently and see what happens. Well, seems pretty alright. I expect this to look basically like a Timmy rammer. Voila. Looks like a Timmy rammer. Yeah, nothing looks horrendous. Let me just re-lube it a little bit. This is a little scary. Look at that. I guess they were, I don't know what they were doing with this, why they decided to go this route. I guess it saved them money, obviously. They have a barb here, a barb there, 3 barbs instead of some CNC machining, which I'm not sure. And they machine this part a lot anyway, and these parts, so I'm not exactly sure what the thought process was with that. Just make sure the eyes are clean. Like the breech and everything looks impeccably clean. bolt looks very clean. Very little wear on the breech. It's a very clean marker. The he mentioned this. I guess it's not supposed to be up, it's supposed to be down. No. I don't want to mess with that. I don't know how brittle this is going to be. It looks like it's going to be very brittle. I see kind of a crack on that. All right. O-ringed. I have a set screw there, there. But nope, that twists off. Kind of curious to see what the poppet looks like. It's obviously behind all this stuff. 1/8, maybe. This is like semi an autopsy for me. Let me slide these out in case I oh, the black wire's got a little nick on it. That's the ground. Okay. Different color screws. Yeah, that's always fun. Do that. Kind of leave the rest of that together. You got to take off this bar before you can get to... That's a sketchy looking screw. But alright. I don't want to put a ton of torque on these, so I'm choking up on the Nip-X pliers here. There it goes. Okay. We're going to put some Loctite back on that. Is this just full of crud, or that's just a weird looking screw? I don't know about this one. Oh my god. That feels awful. That thread is pretty chowdered. That feels awful. Does it look awful? I think it looks awful too. Let's see. Let's dig at it a little bit. Let me see if I can shove a metric in there. Nope. Normally doesn't work that way. Do I have a torque spit? It's got a little bit of a star pattern, like someone smacked the Torx into here to get this thing free. But unfortunately, it seems like they put it back. T20 looks like that's be what it would want. Let's see what I have. Bring it back, guys. Let me see if we can extract this. That's a T25. No, that's a T20. So, all right. Let's do that. Get that out of my way. I need a little hammer. I don't know if you're gonna work, but let's see. I ain't happy. Oh my god. Maybe I loosened it up. Holy shit. I think it's so screwed up because I think they cut the top down of it. Like manually. Where am I? Look at that. Like, see how shiny the top is? Focus. Like, see how shiny the top is? And it looks like it's flat topped. So I wonder if they ground this down to fit in this application from just a regular pan head. Like, look at the difference in these two. That is sketchy. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. But she's out. Put that back. Put that over there. All right. All right. Ooh, that's a soft seal there. It looks a little dinged. There's some gunk. Okay. Okay, it's all the ram sleeves, so I got to take out these. Let me grab something to do that. Is bigger than this one? Interesting. Okay. Are they metric? Like 8mm? I'm gonna be right back, guys. I need to go upstairs and try to find a very tiny 8mm socket or so to get these off, because I guess these are metric threaded. They're not the same as this one, which is strange. But, okay. I'll be right back. Alright, guys. So it's 5mm, because these are M3 barbs. I guess this is a standard barb? It's a little weird. Nah, it fits too. I guess I just got lucky. So I guess that makes sense. M3 stuff, kind of like the, just like the Timmy. But, I'm more set up for cocker-based fittings with my stuff down here. These both have seals. That one does not. Landing plates, which is nice. Oh, nice and easy. Nice. So, that's weird. I don't think that's the way that's supposed to be. I don't know if you guys can see that. You see the flat spot in it? I don't think that was by design. I think someone dropped it. I wonder if I can push this seal, flip the seal around. I can flip the seal around for a fresh face. It's kind of soft, which is kind of lame. I don't like a soft seal, but it definitely seals up easier. Feel that. Yeah, no one's used this second face on it. I mean, at least that's replaceable, which is good. Can I get that wow out? Let's see. Where's this? Kind of hard. I did a lot actually. Let me. Just patience. Look at it. I don't think it matters because it's inside the tube there, but it's a little better than it was. You guys can see that now. A little better than it was. I like that these are nice chunky O-rings on here. They're not very low diameter. They're just generic 70 durometer, but they're Buna. They'll last for near ever. And that's pretty good. The tube itself, let me get a... You can hear how... Not the smoothest thing. Ain't the smoothest tube I've ever seen, but it's not much different than a generic Timmy tube. So that's not bad. Wonder if these are identical. Let's see, can I take this out and flip it around? Yep. So I think the ram bumper is harder than the actual durometer of the face seal. Which is not a bad thing, it's just I like to see a harder face seal. It's a crisper shot. A cleaner break from it. But I get it, it's hard to seal up. Especially when budget constraints are there. So that's probably why I went that softer face seal material. I wonder... What if we try to fix that? Let's do something stupid, then we'll put the marker back together. Try to heat the aluminum up so it doesn't crack on me. can only adjust it so much because I don't want to go too hard. Make sure everything feels okay. I gotta turn it, like, cant it up this way a little bit. Fit yet. Looks pretty good. Let's see if I can. Okay. I think it looks pretty good if he gets this thing reanodized. I'm just gonna heat cycle it one more time, just to try to help relieve any little stresses I might have just caused in it. That was brutal, but I bet. I want to grab a little file because it's a little rough on the edge there. Tight, but not the end of the world. A little tight coming out, but I don't want to do too much more damage to it. I guess think. Let me that's pretty good, right? That's a little, it's definitely a lot better. Try to get every angle on it. Feels a little flatter. He's probably still gonna hate it, but hopefully that cools his nerves a little bit with it, because he commented a couple times on that. That was brutal. What's a shame is literally the bore of this tube is smoother than the bore inside here. Like, it's a smoother bore inside the tube that nothing really goes in. Let me grab some lubes. Alright. So, I'm not going to change these two O-rings because they're nice and big and they're doing their job. Just going to grease them up. Make sure we're nice and centered. Used a lot of weird tools on this one. I'm going to snug it down that way. I don't want to over tighten that at all. So ram tubes back in. Let's grab these two. Just touch of lube on these. I don't want to get a ton of lube down the center of them. Put a little dab. So my trick always with like 3mm fittings is if you think you're getting to be enough, you've probably over tightened them. So always go very light and just break it back down if it's loose, or if it's leaking, just break it down and tighten them just a touch more. But like we're talking fingers here. Just click, that's it. Not crazy, because you break that, then you got to take it out with a little easy out. You got to drill it. It's a pain in the ass. So it's just not worth doing. So that's in. The bolt is in pretty good shape. Let me grab some quad rings. These are normally 015s. Just give a little performance build, kind of. So the idea of a quad ring is it takes less static friction to break it free than a traditional O-ring, assuming you put it in right. But I mean, with that comes with a cost of they are a pain to put in correctly. Gotta make sure they seat right. And they're not all made the same, so some of them you just gotta abandon because they're just not toleranced as, I guess it's just a lot harder to tolerance them than a traditional O-ring. So they get a little weird looking. Or if the groove isn't perfect, it don't like it. A little bit of lube on these, not much. It's a little stickier, but I kind of want that because it's a pop-it marker and it's going to definitely seal better this way. Like it can overcome some first shot drop off because it's a poppet valve. Oh, that O-ring disintegrated. This back one's a Buna. It's probably like a 10 or a 12 in the back and a 6 in the front. Ram's a little low quality feeling too. Definitely a little rougher than what I would appreciate it being. I think that looks like it's going to be an 011. The smaller they are, the harder they are to get in place right. Oh man, it's a little big. It's like an 010 with a little stretch. Yeah, it's more like an 010 with a little stretch on it. Myself here. Alright, that's in. That was a pain. Let's see if it fits right. That feels like it's too loose now. Did I get an 010? Yeah. There's a chance these might be metric, but I doubt it. That's it. It's an 011. Try to get the 06 on. Nice. That one actually went on pretty well. So, let's lube this up. Alright. Feels solidly put together now. Not too loose. This is probably another 006. Or is it smaller? That's another 006. I need a pick. Oh, 006, way too big. Let me go hunting. Might be an 004. Could be an actual metric thing. Let's see if I can make this get on there. Yeah, that feels good. So if I push this in, want to make sure it has enough force to close itself, and it does. These we get rid of because these are getting hard already because these are the poly O-rings. Let me go get some 015 50 durometers. Soft seals. Oh no, this bolt. Where'd that go? I really don't like this one, but I don't really have a choice currently. We're gonna leave it really not that tight. If it loosens up on you, man, I'm sorry. I just don't want to snap that one. Now this little pain in the ass, let me get some Teflon tape. I hate taping up little fittings. You got to critically make sure you're not going to get any tape on the end of it. Especially when you crack it free. You want to make sure you have no tape on the end of it. You want to make sure you're applying the tape the correct way, or else it's going to get in the little tubes, going to get the solenoid, and it's going to make things stick and leak. That is a pain, man. Jeez. Alright. Can actually use my now. Again, not too tight. Choke way up on these. That's it. I won't be able to hit that with this because of how it is. So that's a risky business. One of them. Nothing in there matters. Let's set our back cap. Again, it's a static O-ring. It looks nice and preserved. It's a Buna. Gonna make sure I get these threads kind of liberal because, or liberally lubed, because that was a little tight coming off. I don't really like taking a wrench to stuff I don't have to. See where we fall. I adjust it pretty well. It's just protruding into the breech, which is nice. All right, so the body is reassembled. We need to put detents in it still. I need to remember to do that. I gotta get detents for it. Yeah, you're gonna be back to me, aren't you? CP. I'm going to put this in the vise wrapped. The vise is aluminum soft jaws, which technically are softer than the anodizing. But I wrap it, put it in the vise, crack it free. I don't want to shove the vise back to the center. This video is getting long enough. There shouldn't be any Loctite or anything on this, so rope free. You don't want to cream it because then you might end up distorting the bore, which is what you're trying not to do here. And you can separate the middle section too, but you don't normally have to unless you're trying to get to that O-ring. Baby, you're right there. There it goes. Hello, CP. Nice and lubed. Just gonna clean this up. Went crazy there. I'm not really trying to do anything too special with this. You can, you know, replace that bottom ring, but it's very hard to get a quad ring in there, and 50 durometer ring I wouldn't really trust in this particular case, because this is the high pressure zone. Every other is the CP setup. And I get the ball out. All right, let me see if I get lucky. Got lucky. So I'll see how things are going here. Let me I got very lucky on this rig. It's not fighting with me. Okay. What are you doing in there? Everything's pretty solid with this. But I got it open, so I'm not complaining. We check that ring. That ring looks good. I'm not going to mess with that one. That one's a pain in the ass. We're going to try to replace this one with a quad ring if I have one. If not, I'm going to put it right back on because this rig has barely been used. I do. It's a 114. All right. So I'm going to lube this up. You can lube a reg fairly liberally. With a CP, make sure the ramp is the right way, facing the screw, or else you'll be in a world of trouble. I'm going to put this in and just test the ramp feature. Yep, I just want to make sure it goes all the way up, nice and free. And all the way back down. Okay. So it's alternating every other. The ends point up on a CP reg. These two are already set up. And that one goes like that on the bottom. I'm going to coat these. We'll lube them too. And we'll shove it back in like that. Lube that ring, lube those threads. And tight this ring. I'm going to hold it in my hand and just tighten it down as hard as my hand can go. Just try to make sure it doesn't crack free, but you know, you don't want to kill these things tight-wise, because then it becomes a pain in the ass for the next guy that's got to come in here. That's a shame. It doesn't actually get all the way up there. Ooh. Ooh, System X. Alright. Cool, cool. Alright, let's dive into this reg. This is the one that I have zero experience with, so let's see. See 3 little ones around the outside. It's probably a very generic setup here. There's probably a Schrader valve in there. And a piston. That's a crushed O-ring. Seal. I'm going to take these out fully. I don't know if this slips out or threads out. I'm going to assume it slips out. Yep. There's extra holes. Oh, that's pretty generic. I don't know why there's so many holes. This is not, like, you can't direct airflow anywhere, I guess. Okay. Just a Schrader valve. And a piston cup up there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. That's a smaller. That's pretty tight. Interesting. That's pretty frozen. Huh. Okay. Okay. Well, it's in there. It comes out forward. There's a little lip on the back end. I don't know if I can get you guys in there to see it, but there's a little lip, so it comes out forward. Even this, the inside is significantly nicer than the ram surface. This one's a little chowdery. All right. Might be a 10. Nope. It's 11. It's a 12. A lot of sizes. No, it's not 12. It is an 11. My bad. Wonder if that was always raw machined because they screwed up and they did it, or if that just rubs. I don't think it rubs. I think that's just raw. Just need to make a little tolerance post anodizing. This might not work in here. This slot's cut a little narrow. So we'll see. Yeah. So this slot's cut a touch narrow. And like it's bulging the far side of this quad ring. So let me get a different 11. This is 60 durometer Viton. So it's a little softer than the 70 durometer Buna. It's a little bit better of a material. So it's a nice compromise. The lower the durometer, the easier it's going to break free when you talk about static friction. But then you gotta consider wear, so that's why I like using the quad rings when I can, because it's still the heavier durometer, so they wear better than the lower durometer stuff. But now I'm using Viton, which is a better material, and that's now free and moves nice. This is pressure, so it should be able to move with, you know, with a good amount on it of has a good amount of force on it, so it should be able to move regardless. But it's just nice to know that you're trying to do the best you can. 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. Like when I was screwing around with mini regs and I replaced both O-rings with quad rings on them, it gets like a 7% increase just from an O-ring swap, which is, I mean, fairly significant. Those regs themselves really are crap. So like 7% is not nothing to sneeze at. Let me see if I can, yeah, that came off beautifully easy. Don't expect much here. Wow. It's like they built it. Wow. That's interesting. It's like a non-captured Schrader. I like it. Alright. Just clean it up, re-lube it. That is a hard part to machine. So I give them credit on that one, whatever they got that from. Because that does not look like a standard off-the-shelf product. There is a bit of aluminum in there, though. Which I wonder if that was from. The O-ring, or the spring, not as good. Like, got a bit of a weeble wobble to her. Not the end of the world, but it lets this really cool little shaft down. All right, clean that up. Let me just give you a coating. Slip that back on. I mean, no complaints with that. It's a nice little assembly. Okay. Let me lube that up. Again, there's a lot of holes, but there's no... Oh, I guess they're to clock. Alright, so I get why there's so many extra holes now. It's to clock this thing downward. That's... They could have did something else. They did put a lot of machining into this section. I feel like they could have gotten rid of the external line. That's a way oversized O-ring too. But I guess it's a seal face. So yeah, there's a hex on here, so they want you to torque this section down first, it seems. So snug this section down first. And then you put this on so it keys in like that. Sorry, I'm a little out of frame there. Ah, crap, I can't even shoot this thing. It's a CP feed neck on it. What a trash idea these feed necks were when CP did these. They had like a special collar that you put on the different hoppers and it like clicks in. But they're garbage. They're not adjustable. They're massive. It's functionally useless without their kit. Like what an awful setup that was. So this has 2 O-rings that you got to be conscious of. Just gonna put a little dab of oil on the top one. A little bigger. Yeah. All right. So the body's full. I'm sorry about that, guys. My battery died, and well, this is day 2 now. Because of that, I grabbed some new ball detents, and really just have to put the electronics and hosing back on, and we're good to go. The hoses look all right. I mean, they're not brittle yet, which is what I'm checking for, see if they're brittle or cracked. There is a little tear or a little squish on, make sure I'm in camera here. There's a little squish on the, oh, sorry, on the grounding side or the negative side of the eye. So I'm going to just going to resolder this up, and we'll make sure we're conscious about how we put it back in. All right, my grab. I'm gonna get a helping hand here. I drop shit all over myself. One frame. Okay. Guess that's kind of nice about having a or soldering so much stuff up now for these boards that I've been making, that kind of have all my soldering gear right here. All right. So let's go about piecing this back together. How do I want to attack this? I'm going to try to centralize the wires so they're not out near the edges so much anymore. There's a little brake magnet in there, look at that. Interesting little gun they made here. Let me just try to get them tucked in behind that. All right. Oh. So I'm going to just put that in there temporarily. Flip it over. It popped out, which is fine. And I'm going to play the dance. Put that one in there. I like that one. Make sure there's going fine. I gotta find the screws. Let's see. I don't exactly remember where they went. I think this longer one went in the back. Yeah. Feels almost right. I'm going to loosely put this back screw in. Just to get the room I need. Make sure these two wires are nice and loosen that hole there. I'm going to make sure you guys get all tucked in. Make sure these two wires go up here. I'm going to try to tuck them behind the screw to just manage them. Okay. I'll loosely tighten this one. And that's just loose. But now I got that managed pretty well. Alright, so that would go there. That looks pretty good. I'm not pinching any of this stuff. I do like how they machined around the trigger on this, unlike like a Timmy without a jock strap on it, or what used to be called a jock strap, because like sometimes all this crap up here would like lay on the top of the trigger, and you really got to be conscious of it. They made a nice groove there, so like it can't actually get hung up, which is really nice. It was a nice little feature. Let me toss a detent in here. Which way do these go? Like that? Nah, like this. Oh, that's completely wrong. Okay, make sure that goes in there. Me. Okay. The finger is out and in. That's smaller. Nah, they're the same. Make sure that's in and nice. Where's it going? Okay. All right. That's looking pretty okay. Now at this point I'm going to get some air in it. I just want to see how it feels. Put a drop of lube in there. Let's see if I have any leaks remaining from my work here. Let me get a tank. Have air in you. Dead. How about you? You got a little. I don't have a lot of air, but let's see if we get a leak. To bring this way in, bring out a little bit. Right from this. Okay. So let's see how we take this thing apart. And see if we can get to this ASA. Jeez. That is on there tight. Let's see. I'm not going to hit it too hard because I don't have this thing. Secured in there too tight, so I didn't want to hit that very hard, but that came off fairly easy. Let's see. I got to remove the fitting. Again, I'm just going to toss in the vise wrapped up. This video is taking far too long as is. All right. This guy going forward. That's a pain. How does this one work? I guess this piece in here has to unthread. Let me grab a, it just pulls out. Yeah, it spins. Seems like it might just pull. Yep. Holding on for dear life, though. All right. Well, that don't look that bad. I don't know why that was leaking so much. Let's place this O-ring. Looks like a 15. I'm just going to replace it with a 70 durometer. This is the high pressure side of the air. So I don't want to go too low and make it an easier failure point at my durometer and my O-ring. That little one looks absolutely fine. May just need a little lube, little lub. Okay. A little more lube for good measure. Clean out in there. These O-rings are just capture rings. They don't actually seal anything. Just meant to push this rod forward. Gonna put I'll lube the O-ring in here. I'll make sure I'm properly seated on my macro line. Just clean off the old. Get some new Teflon on here. Just gonna throw it, then when I'm done screwing around, I will thread it back in. All right. Little trick. Let's try to lube that O-ring in there. You can actually replace that O-ring. I'm going to try it off the frame. These are good. Nice. I don't hear any leaks. Let's do that. That sounds pretty promising. Hasn't vented yet, so all right. So my lines aren't leaking. I don't exactly know what my pressures are. That's okay. So let me get the board back in. Make sure that's back in. Make sure that looks nice and tight. We'll get the battery in. Don't exactly love. Maybe I gotta do it this way. I don't exactly love how the battery sits in this. Oh, that's the, that's why. It's the grip panel screws. Yeah, I'm not getting the battery to sit nice and flush like I want it to. So I think that looks pretty good. The trigger guard. This hose will come down. I'm not pinching any wires. Have the battery in there. Okay. Seal this up nice and well. Put the chunky grips back on. These things are thick. I guess the biggest downside of this is the amount of crap you gotta take off to get to the battery. Don't feel bad though. Paint in here. Clean that up a little bit. Okay. We're going to seat this best it can. Okay. Now we'll tighten these down. Tighten down these last two main bolts for the frame. That feels nice. I do like this trigger frame. I have the board and tournament lock still. I was gonna turn it to semi and see what I could do, but I still have the board and tournament lock, and I'm not taking that back apart for right now. Next battery change. I guess let's put air on it one more time. Throw a barrel toss with it to calm it down. Ooh. I think original Matrix barrel looks pretty good on that. I like this little gun more and more. Nothing. Bone dry. Alright guys, that is a semi-quick rebuild of a System X NME with the new FloryPB board in it. Wish I had more air to give it a proper firing video, but I'll work on that. This is Andrew FloryPB. That's it for the NME stuff.